On June 3rd, the Champions League final between Juventus and Real Madrid will come on display. And the whole world is going to be treated to a classical football. On this exciting note, I want to call you to Sports Desk on independent television. On today's edition of the program, I have Ikechi. Ikechi, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
How has it been?
It's been well, thank God.
All right, Juventus versus Real Madrid.
Well, it's going to be an exciting match because the match is going to be between the two powerful houses in world football. And these two clubs are coming to the championship with a rich history. And they are coming with two different styles of footballing. One is coming with an attacking football, whereas the other one had the meanest defense in world football. So the viewers expect an exciting match between these two powerhouses of football.
Yeah, before I ask you your prediction on that match, I'll have to say for the records, the two teams have actually met 19 times in European competitions, and Juventus has won 9 times, while Real Madrid won 8 times. And Real Madrid, they are 11-time champions of the competition, while Real Madrid are 11-time champions and Juventus 2-time champions. What is your prediction on that match, if you have to predict the match?
In football, most of the time, the attacking side always wins. Given the fact that Real Madrid are an attacking side and Juventus are a defensive side, I believe that the Real Madrid side are going to take the match to them. They are going to attack them from left, center, and from everywhere. But Juventus being what they are, but I believe that at the end of the day, the attacking side, which is Real Madrid, will take the day.
Yes, I will actually go a step further to ask you, what is your... Now, Real Madrid, they've conceded more goals than Juventus in this competition, this year's edition. Juventus have been one of the meanest defenders with Monaco. But on the basis of that, what actually do you think? Give me just your score, even if it's what you think the scoreline will be.
Well, goals are not going to be many in that match because Juve, being what they are, they would like to defend and beat you on the counter. But I believe they're going to be a low-scoring side. I predict that it will be 2-1 in favor of Real Madrid.
2-1 in favor of Real Madrid, that is what he said. We'll wait to see on June 23rd, when the two sides will go head-to-head in the Champions League final. Now, another exciting one, Europa League, Europa Cup, between Ajax and Manchester United.
That is going to be a cracker because both sides have a rich history in world football. Ajax has won the championship before. They have won the Champions League, and Man U also have won it previously. Now they're going to play in the Europa League, which is a lower division. But I believe that both sides have really prepared. The chief coach of Ajax has said that his side are going to attack Man U. They say they have done everything possible that they're going to beat Man U. But I believe that Man U, being what they are, will take the day. Yes,
Man U, being what they are, will take the day. That's a prediction. Before I ask you about your prediction on that match, Manchester United, they are 6th on the English Premier League table, and on the strength of that, they will not be going to Champions League next season if they don't win the Europa League. And Ajax, by virtue of being 2nd on the table, has actually qualified for Champions League. So on the strength of that, whom do you think is hungrier in that final?
On paper, it will seem as if Man United are hungrier because that is their only route to Champions League. But on the other hand, Ajax has not played in the championship for a very long time. They have not won it for a very long time, and they want to win it. They want to win it, and I believe that given the preparation they have made and given the strength of their squad, they are equal to the task. So everybody should expect an exciting match between these two houses of football.
And there's something we're talking about. So many pundits have actually said if Jose Mourinho failed to win the Europa League, he's just as good as a failure in Manchester United. Do you share that sentiment?
I don't think so. Because you should not use the results of one match to judge, whether a coach has succeeded or whether he has failed. I believe that, given that he's in his first year, he has done enough. He's not a failure if he fails to win.
He's not a failure if he fails to win. Well, that is but realistically now, let me ask you about your prediction of that match. Scoreline, maybe you go a step further. Give me your scoreline of that match.
I think at full time it will be 1-1, and Man U will win in the extra time.
Well, football bettors say at full time it will be 1-1. That's a clue if it comes to pass. I believe you have to do it. and get your money. Well, Arsenal versus Chelsea in the FA Cup final.
Well, Chelsea are riding high. They have just won the FEPL, and Conte, their coach, with the tactics he brought 3-4-4, and has worked for him. And I think, given bookmakers have said that Man U might know that Chelsea will win, they have higher chances of winning. But in football, you can predict what you like, but it's done on the field of play. But given the current form of both clubs, Chelsea are expected to win. But don't write off Arsenal.
Chelsea are expected to win, don't write off Arsenal. That's what Ikechi had actually said. And I think I will have to go with him, because truth is that football is a game of 11 players versus 11. It doesn't matter who is. For the record, the two sides have met once in the final. And Arsenal carried the day. Probably whether history will repeat itself, we'll wait to be seen on May 27 when the finals will come on display. Now, English Premier League, the top 4 battle. It seems to be whittled down between Arsenal and Liverpool, because Liverpool must win against Middlesbrough on Sunday to automatically knock out whatever result Arsenal get against Everton. How do you think it will pan out?
Well, on paper, Liverpool have a less difficult job to do. On the other hand, Arsenal have a very difficult job.
Given that Middlesbrough have been relegated.
One, Middlesbrough have been eliminated. They are ready to play for, and they will take the game easily. But on the other hand, Everton want to go to Europe. They have something to play for. I think they're going to give Arsenal a top fight. But if Arsenal prevail and Liverpool also prevails, Liverpool will go to Europe and Arsenal will play in the Europa League.
Maybe in the last edition of this program, I actually asked whether it's a big failure on the part of Arsene Wenger, the coach of Arsenal, if Arsenal for the first time in so many years failed to qualify for Champions League. Do you think it's a failure on the part of the coach?
I think given the resources and the size of the club, it's a failure of his part not to have qualified for Europe. Given the fact that they have been given resources to prosecute the season. So it's a failure on his part.
All right, another interesting thing is that Real Madrid in Spain just need a point to defend their La Liga title after they won yesterday against Celta Vigo. Now, do you think that invincibility of Barcelona is actually going?
Well, it's been a mixed bag for Barcelona, especially at home and abroad. But the La Liga title has already been won by Real Madrid since they beat Celta Vigo yesterday, the day before yesterday. They only need a point for Malaga, which is a middle table club. And Real Madrid for now are leading Barcelona by 3 points. And those 3 points will count on the final day.
All right, those 3 points will count on the final day. For the records, Real Madrid need to avoid defeat on the final day of the league to win the La Liga, to defend their title. That will bring me now to Nigerian Professional Football League. The second stanza is starting on Sunday rather. In the first stanza, we have a lot of crises, a lot of controversies, fans invasion of the stadium and attacking visiting teams. If you are to be in the shoe, I've been advising Sanilu-led LMC. What are you going to say to him about the second stanza?
Well, I would say that they should provide security. Most of the problems come because there is little or no security for match officials, and they are afraid to interpret the rules of the game as they are. They always favor the home side, and most of the time when the matches don't go in their favor, they run into trouble. So they need to provide adequate security at the stadiums.
They need to provide adequate security at the stadiums. I think I cannot agree less, because for the records like that, after the last 4 years, the league management company has smashed home with a tune of up to 70 million naira from fines imposed on clubs whose fans invaded the stadium to attack opposing teams. Plateau United is actually on top. Do you envisage that at the beginning of the season?
Nobody expected that. People thought Rangers, for what they did last season, we also repeat what they did. But most of the clubs that did well last season are not doing fine.
They're not doing fine. But look at the case of Rangers, who is actually Rangers, a club that won the championship. They are the Nigerian champions and defending, and now they are one step above relegation. Do you think it's a good omen? And what do you think accounts for such thing? Because you can even imagine in a club like in England, like Chelsea, maybe Chelsea is the champion of England now, and next season they are battling relegation. Do you think something is wrong with the Nigerian Professional Football League that needs to be corrected?
Yeah, I think something is wrong. Something fundamentally is wrong with Nigerian Football League, and that is the syndrome of wanting to win at home at all costs. Most Nigerian clubs want to do everything to win at home. They intimidate officials, bribe them, intimidate visiting teams, and do all kinds of things. So it's all boils down to security. Most visiting teams do not feel they are secured in away games. So they don't play well, they are afraid, and most of the time they lose concentration and concede too many goals.
Just like I was interacting with former Green Eagles player Tajuddin this week, he actually said something. He said that why Nigerian clubs falter in the continent is because original champions, the even champions, do not emerge because teams buy their home matches. Do you share the sentiment?
I believe so. It may not be directly, but most of the time when you intimidate your opponent, when you intimidate officials, when you allow your fans to invade fields, to not allow the other team to play their football, you are indirectly encroaching on their rights to play football.
Now let me ask you. Finally, I want to ask you about Victor Moses.
Yeah.
He is just virtually the Cinderella of Chelsea. After 2 seasons ago, Victor Moses was actually on loan, and this year he emerged as the third African to win English Premier League, participating fully, being an active member of the team. Others one being playing cameo roles. How do you look at it? Does it mean that other coaches like Jorge Mourinho did not actually tap into his talents?
No, what happened was that Conte, the coach of Victor Moses, found a role that suits him and has been deploying him for that role and has delivered. So what other players should do is to find clubs in which they are needed, not where they will be bench warmers. On
a lighter note, do you think that Victor Moses will be in contention for this year's Africa Football of the Year?
Well, that's a tall one because you have other, big players like Aubameyang and others who have done well. So he's in the running for it, I believe.
Well, viewers, that's much we can take on today's edition of the program Sports Desk on Independent Television. Why not join us same time at the same station when we come your way? Until then, remain blessed.